If you were advising the Biden administration right now, what would you say lower expectations? Would you say declare victory and what would you advise?
I would say declare victory and move on. Like, this is something what they should have done in July. I mean, remember the July 4th, go have a barbecue with your friends speech? I mean, that was a golden opportunity for the Biden administration to declare victory. Because even by then we had vaccines, monoclonal antibodies, and rapid tests. They could have declared, and that's what they should do now. They should say, look, this is a disease that will be with us forever. If you're older and more vulnerable, you still need to be careful. But here are these tools to make it so bad. If you go get vaccinated if you haven't. Here's the monoclonal antibody centers. Do what Governor DeSantis did: make them widely available. Have strike force teams. You just call them up and they come to your house and infuse you. Push really hard for rapid for good trials of these relatively cheap drugs. I think, and then just say, look, we have these tools now. Go live your life. That's it. Declare victory. I mean, it would be a bipartisan victory. They need to rein in the CDC, which has been spreading this fear. Instead, what they did is they decided that they were going to use the vaccination campaign as a tool to marginalize Republicans. The weird thing is that it's not just Republicans that started distrusting them. Large fractions of minorities in the United States aren't vaccinated. Why? Because they don't trust public health. Large fractions of younger populations are not vaccinated because the benefit is marginal, and people again don't trust public health. I think that's the problem. They just need to restore trust and declare victory.
In 2008, the world financial system collapsed, and we had a bunch of reforms. Some of them were stupid, some of them weren't so stupid, but we had kind of a global financial audit of processes and regulations. I mean, most of them didn't do anything, but there was a process to that. There were people we could name who paid a price. Maybe it was unfair, maybe it was like too much, but there was a sense that there was like, okay, there's going to be some kind of investigation here for how we made these mistakes. How would you even begin to do that in a world in which you still, if you represent the WHO, the World Health Organization, you still have an immense cultural authority. If you are head of the CDC, you still have enormous cultural authority. I mean, how do you do this without firing people?
I don't think you do it without firing people, Rob. I think the people that have led this response, this absolutely disastrous, catastrophic public health policy for the last 20 months, need to resign. I don't think there's any other way, and they won't resign on their own. They have to be held accountable by political leaders that have essentially been fooled by their advice. They've been hypnotized by their advice, this panic. That the reckoning starts with that first, an acknowledgement that there was a mistake. Yeah. And the acknowledgement has to come. You're seeing it already. The public at large is done with this. They're not listening. Not in crazy California where I live, but many other places. And it had political ramifications as well. So, the Virginia election was no acts. I mean, you guys do more know about politics than me, but I was really heartened by that because I think I view that as a response to the botched COVID response.
Ricochet. Join the conversation.